Good morning, everyone, and we want to welcome you to another episode of Breakfast with the Greenes. We're your hosts. I'm James Greene.
And I am Cynthia Greene. We're founders of Marriage Built to Last, and we are
America's favorite couple. So, we've been coming to you all month talking about the totally confident couple, and it's leading actually into our virtual summit. So today it's the last actual Saturday of the month. So that's what we're going to be talking about. So what we want you to do is, if you feel you're that couple or you want to hear how to become that couple, why don't you just go to the bottom of the screen and hit the share button. Share this out. Share this out to couples who want to be confident, to couples who want to be powerful, to couples who want to build. Or you can start a watch party, and you can let other people watch what you're watching so they can learn to become that couple. People talk about we're a power couple, but do you really know what that means? Or we're a confident couple. Do you really know what that means? Do you know the steps to take to be that? So that's what we're going to be talking about. So we want you can do two things. You can either share this out or start a watch party.
Right. So one quick correction. For the month of February, it's been all about marriagepreneurs, couples who are in business together. Yes. So we're going to just close out the marriagepreneurs, and we are getting pumped up. We are ready for our upcoming conference in 2 weeks, honey. It's in 2 weeks. The Totally Confident Virtual Summit. Now, I just want to let you guys know up front, it is free, only until May 30th. On June 1st, there will be a fee. But guess what? We are giving away 5 free totally paid, all expenses paid vacation in the USA. So register. If you register today because you saw this video, you will still be entered into the vacation, the free vacations. But starting on June 1st, there is only a $20 fee. That's all it is. But you get entered into winning an all expenses paid free vacation here in the USA, and you have many options to choose from. We're super excited about that from one of our sponsors, one of our anonymous sponsors, actually. So we want to thank our anonymous sponsor for donating 5 free vacations. How exciting is that?
And I guess I was excited jumping ahead talking about the confident couple, because if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in a business, your spouse, then both of you are in it together. And you have to be confident. You have to be confident sometimes to say walk away from a 9-to-5 to start your own business. You have to be able to make some sacrifices, maybe to write a book. So you have to be confident to do those things. That's what had my mindset thinking, okay, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to do some things. I'm confident in myself. That's what made me jump ahead to that totally confident couple.
Right, because all month we've been talking about couples who are in business together and how to balance that with marriage and everything else that goes on in your life. And we gave you a whole lot of tips.
Right.
Everything from just really, it boils down to you guys being clear on your different roles in each other's business or in supporting one another, in dividing up your roles and responsibilities, just being supportive. Right. And the key was communicating about it.
Right.
So
I was going to say, baby, let the person who's strong at this area be strong in that area. When you think about it, say to sports analogies, you play to win, but you put the teammates in the position where they could be the strongest at. Because if you're the quarterback, you're going to make sure that the things he does well, you're going to put in them plays so he can thrive in that position. Right. And that's what it is. Even in business, when the two of you are in business together, you want the person who's best in that area to do that area.
That's right.
So your business can thrive. So if one person is better at finances, let them handle finances. If one is better at the planning, let them plan. If you're not good at planning, why would you plan and you're not good at it?
That's right. So that's what the whole entire month of May has been about. But the next 2 Saturdays, I think we only have this Saturday and next Saturday. And then our conference is June 12th. So in 2 weeks, we are super excited. We are super excited about the virtual summit. So today we are just going to give you, so let me just say this. The Totally Confident Couple Virtual Summit is all about showing couples all the different areas that they can grow in to really become succinct and successful and happy and prosperous and confident in every area of their lives as a couple, right? And so today we're going to talk about some things that help you as an individual become self-confident, and then show you how that leads up to the two of you being confident together, how you can support each other. And then what we consider one of the number one keys that helps a couple to be confident in themselves as a married couple in marriage, right? So we'll tell you that piece at the end.
Because it's different being confident, say, in yourself than being confident in your marriage. You know, that takes some time sometimes, you know, and it takes a learning process to be confident in your marriage. You know, you can have all the confidence in the world in yourself, but when you get married, that takes another level of confidence, and sometimes that's a learned behavior.
Right. So at the Totally Confident Couple Virtual Summit, we have 10 speakers that will be giving you their expertise in specific areas to help you in your relationship to become that confident couple. So, and they're going to be giving away lots of free gifts, you guys. So let's just get started on this becoming self-confident in yourself, because the key is you can't be confident in your relationship with another person if you're not confident in yourself. So let's just talk about what is self-confidence. It is an attitude about your skills and abilities. And it means that you accept and trust yourself and have a sense of control in your life. Feeling confident in yourself can sometimes depend on the situation. So we hear people always talk about self-esteem, self-care, you know, all of these mental health, mental awareness, emotional intelligence. All of these things help us to build our confidence in ourselves and in our life.
Right.
And so the things that we're going to give you today is going to help you with that. But in order to get a little bit of clarity on building self-confidence, I just want to talk just a second about low self-confidence, right? So what does low self-confidence look like? It makes you have some doubts. Like you may be full of self-doubt, you may be passive or submissive, but in certain areas, not in all areas. Or you might have difficulty trusting other people. You might feel inferior. You might feel unloved or be sensitive to criticism. All of those things can contribute to low self-esteem or low self-confidence.
And that happens all the time when someone is maybe afraid. They may not have confidence. You know, sometimes if you want to start a business and you say, you know, I'm going to start a business, but you're leery about it. You have doubts about it because in your mind, you're thinking, man, that might not succeed. There's that low confidence. You don't have confidence that your business can succeed, you know, and sometimes the confidence part, it may come across as cocky. Like my mother always said, if you don't have confidence in yourself, nobody's going to have confidence in you. So you have to have confidence in yourself, thinking you're going to succeed. Sometimes it's a mindset. Instead of having doubt all the time, think of the positive. Think of, you know what? I can do this. I can make it work. I can succeed. Instead of, I'm not sure if it'll work. You know, I don't know. You know, and that way you'll never get started. You know, once my mentor always told me, you know, you should always get started. Don't wait to get started. Always get started.
Mm-hmm. And the key to this is that high confidence and low confidence is rarely based on what we've studied and according to the authorities, it's rarely based on your actual abilities. It's really based a lot of times on your perceptions, the way you think about something, the way you perceive it, what you think the outcome is going to be. So your perception can be how you think about yourself or about how you think about the situation. And those thoughts can be flawed. Like they're not reality. That's why you have to try. You just have to put your best foot forward and go for it.
Because you can't succeed if you don't try. You know, if you're always thinking that, you know, it might not work and I don't know if I have the ability to do this. How do you know if you don't try? How do you know if you don't put that confidence in yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to try this. I might be able to do that. Let me just take a stab at it and try it. And then when you succeed, then you'll look back and say, I'm glad I tried it. It's because if you go and don't do it, you'll never be able to look back and say, I'm glad I tried it, because you never tried it and you never got it going. So you never got to that point to be able to look back. You always want to look back at something and say, you know what, I'm glad, even if anything you go through, I'm glad I tried it, I came through it, and I came out on the other side. Because you can't look back if you never tried anything to move forward.
That's right.
You always need to be moving forward so you can look back on the past and say, you know what, I tried that, I did it. Or even if I didn't do it, at least I tried it. And you can always look back at that. Because if you don't, you'll never be able to look back at something.
Right. And another key thing too, and I think James is a great example of this. Low self-esteem or high self-esteem a lot of times it stems from your background. It stems from your personal experiences growing up. So low self-confidence could be growing up in an unsupportive and critical environment, right? But in James's case, high self-confidence could be from growing up in a supportive environment. So his mother used to talk to him about self-confidence. Like he said, she told him, if you don't have confidence in yourself, nobody else is, right? So he grew up, like I used to call him cocky. Like I felt like his confidence was he's just cocky. He says, I'm not confident, I'm just confident.
Right, because I know growing up, getting a job, and if I didn't like the job, I would quit right away. And my mother would say, why do you keep quitting jobs? I can tell you in a matter of 4 years, I might have had 10 jobs. And that's because if I didn't like something, I would quit. And I would tell my mother, that's all right. I'll get another job, because I had confidence that I could go out there and get another job. A lot of times, she would say, yeah, that's faith-based. And a lot of times, sometimes it does take faith. You hear the saying, you need to step out on faith, because you never know what could happen. You could be missing your blessing. So sometimes it takes faith for you to step out there. Sometimes it's not even about confidence. It's about faith. But once you take that leap of faith, that confidence builds up.
They go hand in hand.
Right. Because I know going to get another job, you say, Dad, my mother said, you keep quitting jobs. And I had the confidence, like, that's all right. I'll just go get another one. Because that was not only the faith I have, but the confidence, I could just go out there and get another job.
Right. So just so you know, a lot of times low self-confidence is just errors in how you're thinking.
Yep.
You always hear people say stinking thinking. If you change your thinking, you can change your circumstances. You can change your future. You can change your perceptions. So that is the key to building confidence. So let's just talk about some key things to help you increase your self-confidence. So the first one is recognizing and emphasizing your strengths. Like, what are you good at?
There you go.
So, all through the month of May, we talked about marriage and business, right? Marriagepreneurs, couples who have a business, whether he has a business and she doesn't, or she has a business and he doesn't, or they both got their own business, or they're in business together like we are, right? But what we have to do is we had to divide up our roles and responsibilities. We had to know where our strengths are, what we're good at. James is good at the gift of gab. I love when he opens up. I don't care if we're speaking live, if we're speaking virtual, whatever we're doing, I love for him to be the key opener, because he just has the gift of gab. He has the charisma. He has the attitude. He has the personality. He has the energy. So that's what he's good at. I have the confidence.
No, let me stop.
That's true too. That is very true.
It's so good, babe. Because just think, if you're starting a business and you have to plan events, you have to locate speaking.
That's my part.
Speaking engagements. But just think if you were, say, a wedding planner before that, or you were an event planner. So when you started your business, of course, your strength is planning. Mm-hmm. You can plan your events. You can seek out engagements and plan all of that, because that's what you're good at.
Right. And so he's talking about me. So I'm the planner in the business, because I've always been an event and wedding planner. And matter of fact, I've just started that business back up. Hello. And so even though I am the planner, when I'm planning, I still seek James's advice. I'll say, honey, what do you think about this? Honey, do you have any ideas about this? That's how you balance marriage and business. But you have to recognize your strengths and work on those. Focus on getting those things that you're strong at, and the things that you're not strong at, maybe your spouse can help you, or a friend or an expert. Get the help you need in the areas that you're not strong in. The second way is Don't dwell on failures. Whatever you're not good at or whatever goes wrong, don't dwell on it.
Right, because the minute you dwell on it, you will think that you're going to keep failing and you won't even start trying again. And that is a problem because you think, oh, I failed once, and now your mindset is, man, all I'll probably end up doing is failing again. So you don't even want to try. You can't dwell on the past if you're looking toward the future, because if you start dwelling on the past all the time and your failures, you'll think you'll fail every single time and you won't want to try to move forward. You won't want to try to grow. That is the whole idea. Don't dwell on it and push forward. You think of WD-40.
Oh, the 49, WD-49.
It's WD-40.
I thought it was 49.
No, it's
WD-40. Okay.
Right. Or it's the 49, the spray stuff, the cleaner 49. But you think it took 39 times by failing to get that 40th time right. Or
wait, hold on. People don't know that WD-40 is called that because he failed at the getting the chemicals right 39 times. So he named it WD-40 because he got it right on the 40th try.
Right. And that's the thing. Don't think that the person that invented the light bulb got it right the very first time.
He did not.
Don't think the person that invented the engine to get the car moving got it right on the very first time.
Nope.
But think about it for a minute. If they dwelled on their failures and never tried or never moved forward, maybe we wouldn't have the light bulb now. Maybe we wouldn't have the engine, the car now for the engine to make you move forward. So that's what you got to do. You can't dwell on the past. You got to move forward. Because if you keep dwelling on the past, you'll never be able to move forward. You'll never be able to grow. Why do you think people grow all the time? Because they learn from their mistakes. We talk about children all the time that you learn from your mistakes. Why do they talk about second marriages failing all the time? Think about the ones that succeed, because they're the ones that didn't dwell on their first failed marriage and tried it again. They learn from their mistakes. And that's what we're talking about. You learn from your mistakes, you know what to do, and you move forward. Cynthia and I, we were married the first time. We learned from our mistakes. That's why we have a great marriage now. You can't dwell on it, because if you dwell on your first failed marriage and you say, you know what, I'm not getting married again because I failed the first time. You can't dwell on that. Right. You can't focus on that. You got to focus on moving forward. You got to focus on making yourself better. You got to focus on growing. And how do you grow? We say people should evolve. People should grow. You grow by learning from your mistakes, by learning from your failures, and you get better at it. You grow. You move forward.
And along those same lines, don't expect perfection, right? And when our coaches told us, don't wait until what your speech that you're writing or that program that you're creating, don't wait until it's perfect. Just get it out there. You can perfect it as you go along. You can make it better as you go along.
Right.
So don't get stuck in a rut. A lot of people get stuck writing a book because they get stuck in it being perfect. They're trying to edit as they go along. No, just get your thoughts down on paper.
Look, for example, at the iPhones or Apple products.
Yes.
They could have a glitch in their product, but that doesn't stop them from putting it out there. They go and put it out there. When people have problems, they fix the problems as they go along.
That's correct.
They adjust them. They change their software. They say, okay, we fixed the problem. Download this new software and it'll fix the issue you're having.
That's right. So then one of the next one is slow down and take your time when you're feeling like really intense emotions about a situation that you're going through. Try to come up with some logical solutions and other options and alternatives to correcting and turning around that situation. Don't take it so serious. Don't think of it as dire gloom and doom that it's not going to work out. So you got to try to figure out some steps and solutions. That's what James and I do when we talk to couples who are going through certain situations. Okay, tell us some options, something you could have done differently in that situation. Like, especially when it's conflict. Yes.
When we talk about conflict resolution, we always ask them, how could you handle that differently? What could you have done differently to avoid the big blow up, to avoid that big conflict that you're having? That's conflict resolution. So you have to think of, okay, what could I have done differently? That's the same way when you're starting a business. That's the same way in your marriage. Okay, what could I have done differently to make it work? I invented this problem. I started this business and I failed. What could I have done differently to make it work. So if you failed in a certain area, you change that area. Maybe the other areas were successful, and it was one area that made you fail. So you fix that one area, and then you can be successful in all the areas.
Keep it moving. That's right. All right, you guys. So another one is, and this is one of my pet peeves, y'all. A lot of us sit around and we make assumptions about ourselves and how people think about us. We make assumptions about other people. We make assumptions about situations.
Right.
Like we just assume a person is a certain way, or we just assume a situation is going to turn out a certain way. Let's stop making those negative assumptions.
Right.
You know, one thing that I notice as a certain person I'm around, and they're very negative, always make assumptions and negative comments about people. And I realize that I'm the total opposite. I'm always thinking, seeing the good, try to see the good in people and the good in situations, how the situation can turn around and be better, or how I can help make it better. But when you sit around with all of these negative assumptions without, just without asking the person the question, without evaluating the situation or letting the situation play out, then those negative thoughts start to turn around in you and give you negative emotions.
And look at the word, how do you spell assume?
Oh, Lord.
What does that do? It makes an ass out of you and me.
Oh, my God.
That's why people shouldn't shouldn't make assumptions or shouldn't assume. Because, a lot of times you can talk to people and people just assume you're going to fail. Well, you failed at this before. Why are you going to start that? They're just assuming you're going to fail at it again. But you can't take that mindset. You can't assume all the bad. That way you'll never be successful. You'll never be able to move forward.
Right. And remember at the beginning, we say low self-esteem can come from your background, your past experiences, your family upbringing, and all of that. Well, guess what? You have to recognize that your past negative life experiences does not dictate your future.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, that is one of my pet peeves too. Your past does not dictate your future. I mean, think about all these people where Oprah came from, where Tyler Perry came from, sleeping in his car. The environment Oprah came up from, growing up poor in the projects, the slums, the city. I forget exactly what. But look at them now. Your past does not dictate your future.
Like we always say, where you're from does not dictate who you are.
That's right.
Let me say that again. Where you're from does not dictate who you are.
That's right. You guys.
Why do you think a lot of times you see the sports people on TV, where they're from? You'll see their story. Let them be in a championship and they'll focus on their story, show their whole background of how they got to the NFL, or how they got to the NBA from their past. A lot of times you people have a chip on their shoulder and they say, you know what? Where I'm from, I'm not going to let that stop me from what I want to achieve. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times you can take it as a chip on your shoulder and say, you know what? I'm not going to let this deter from what I want to be, from where I want to go, from who I am. Just because I may have had a rough past, I'm not going to focus on the past. And we talk about you can't focus on the past. That'll stop me from moving forward. Mm-hmm. Didn't we say that? Sometimes you got to take it as a chip on your shoulder and say, you know what? I'm not going to let that dictate who I am or where I'm going or what I want to be.
Exactly. And you guys, you know what was so good? When you think about it, almost anybody can be, not almost, anybody can be successful.
That's right.
A lot of times it's just about your mindset and your determination. So if your self-esteem is low, figure out what do you have to do to grow it and make it better.
Let me give you an example. You see a lot of times a family, like one of them, people say, well, I was the first one to go to college in my family. And nobody in my family thought I would ever go to college, because we could say it's that that bond, that legacy bond that they had. Like nobody in our family ever goes to college. Well, I'm gonna be the first to go to college. Why? Nobody else in our family ever. How can you be the first one to go? But they take that and they end up going to college. And you hear them say, I'm the first one in our family to go to college. Everybody assumed that I wouldn't go to college. Everybody assumed that I'd never make it. I never make it through college. Now look, now I'm a college graduate. I got a great job. You can't let that past dictate who you are. You can't focus on your past, because you'll never be able to move forward. You can't assume that you're not going to make it until you try. You know, sometimes, you know, we always say it takes sacrifice that leads to success. Right. Sometimes you have to make a sacrifice to be successful. You know, it could mean working through college to pay your way. Say your family is, well, my family is poor. Nobody ever been to college. Well, I'm going to make it work. I'm going to work my way through college. I'm going to do the things I have to do. You know, even if I take out a loan and pay them back, those are the things you may have to do to be successful, you know, to buck that trend, so to speak.
So we want you to tell us, if you've been through some things in life and you made it through, post in the feed. I made it. Just post in the feed. I made it, James and Cynthia. Right. I made it. Because we've all been through some things and we made it. So let's encourage some other people and let them know. And
you can say,
I made it through.
Right. Some of the sacrifices you made from your past to where you are now, that they never thought I would be anything. They never thought I would do anything. They never thought I would make it. But you fooled them all, because now, look, you are sitting here. You're successful. You done made it. Your business is thriving. And nobody thought you would.
There you go. There you go. All right, you guys. So another one that's kind of related to that one is when you are experiencing self-doubt or you have to know how it affects you and the other person, which in this case, we're talking about our mates, our spouses, our fiancés, our significant others. So when you are going through that self-negativity, it is affecting those who are around you. Seriously, negativity can be toxic. It can kill a relationship. And that's where we want to go today, because we're talking to couples. What you're going through affects your relationship. It affects your marriage. It affects your future. And we want to, at the Totally Confident Couple Virtual Summit, help you to overcome some of those negative feelings, those negative self-doubt, and show you how to grow confidence in every area of your life and in your marriage. So we're going to be talking about building your self-confidence as a blended family, in your finances, in your communication, in your sexual life, in your any forgiveness from your past. You know, we talked about how that your past can affect your future. So we have someone who's specifically going to talk about how to overcome past experiences. We have a little bit of everything for everybody, you guys. We have even more than that. But we really want you guys to realize how what you say, what you think, what you do, holding on to the past and negative thoughts, how it can affect your relationship.
Right. And sometimes, you know, as Cindy was saying, you know, sometimes it's just straight out fear. You know, I'm afraid to start a business. I'm afraid to get married. I'm afraid to do certain things. You know, you feel people that I'm afraid of heights. But then once they go up there, they're like, you know what? It's not as bad as I thought. Why was I afraid the whole time? That's how it is in this. You know, you may say, I'm afraid, but sometimes, you know, what does it say? God doesn't give you the spirit of fear. You know, but of a sound mind. So sometimes it takes that sound mind to overcome your fear. You know, you say, well, I'm afraid to start a business. What if it fails? You know, what if it doesn't? I'm afraid to get married because everybody in my family who's got married ended up getting divorced.
What if you're the successful one?
Right. What if your marriage is successful and thrives?
That's right.
You can't look at it as the negative. Always being afraid to do something. If people were afraid, nothing would have ever got done. If people were afraid, we wouldn't be in this world where we are today, with people making the inventions that they made, with people starting the businesses that they started. If everyone was afraid, nothing would get accomplished. So if you're afraid, you won't be able to accomplish the things you really want to accomplish. You can sit back and talk about, you know, I want to do this, or I want to do this, I want to accomplish this, or I want to accomplish that. But if you're afraid, it can never happen.
That's right. So you guys, we want to just make sure we shout out one of our sponsors, Ty and Cody Robinson. Thank you so much for being one of our sponsors. Follow them on the Ty and Cody on Purpose Show on Facebook and on other social medias, or go to their website, retv.net. They have a TV show with lots of different people that are on their show, y'all. You got to go on there and check them out.
And I love it because it's on purpose, you know,
Yes.
and that's the thing, because we truly believe God put you together for a purpose, and it's discovering that purpose. You know, everyone has a purpose in their life, but you need to find out what that purpose is. And you tune into the Kai and Cody show, they will help you with that purpose. They will tell you why their show is on purpose.
There you go.
Because there's a purpose for everything. There's a purpose why people do everything that they do.
So thank you, Ty and Cody, for being one of our sponsors. So you guys, in conclusion, one of the keys to building your self-confidence is to, first of all, work on yourself. And the second one is to work together. You have to work together with your spouse. Don't shut them out. Don't close them out. Include them. Express your feelings, your beliefs, your needs directly and respectfully. Like, express what you need. Express what you want. Express what you're feeling. Express what your beliefs are and what you're thinking. Because
you got to remember, if you're building confidence, you know, we always talk about your spouse. Cynthia always says your spouse should be your biggest cheerleader. We always talk about the 7 communication principles for successful relationships. And one is to edify your spouse. Just think, if you build your spouse up, you edify them, you encourage them, you're building confidence in them. You're encouraging them, baby, you can do whatever you set out to do. You know, I remember Cynthia and I, she used to be like, I used to consider myself, and here's a fear, that I'm not a handyman. I can't fix it. Don't ask me to build it. I will pay somebody. But then she encouraged me. She built me up, and I ended up putting up chair railings in our old home.
I told him, you can do anything you put your mind to. And he did.
Right. So we always talk about your spouse should be your biggest cheerleader. Encourage them. All you're doing is you're instilling confidence in them. And what do I always say? If you don't have confidence in yourself, no one's going to have confidence in you. But if your spouse instills that confidence and builds you up, now it's the two of you. You have confidence to tackle the world, so to speak, especially the two of you. You know, if one can defeat 1,000, two can defeat 10,000. Just think the two of you together defeating that 10,000. Just think the two of you together building that business up to be successful. You know, we just, for example, look at the Ty and Cody show. They're successful, but they're in it together. They build each other up. You know, they're a team. They're defeating that 10,000, not one. You know, you're always stronger in multiples. You're always stronger together.
So you guys, what we like to say that we believe the number one step, and this is what we told you the show will be about today, towards building total confidence in your marriage as a totally confident couple, is to think eternity. You have the rest of your life to get it right. You have the rest of your life to achieve your dreams. You have the rest of your life to do whatever it is that you want to do. So if you're thinking eternity, you have many, many blessed years to accomplish your greatest dreams. And so when you think eternity in your marriage, you're like, we're in this till death. Until death do us part. We are in this. There is nothing and no one that can tear our marriage, our love, our relationship apart. Nothing. Because we are thinking eternity. We do not include the D word or the giving up in our marriage or in our relationship.
And you know, and not only that, we think of together, we're leaving a legacy for our children and for our children's children.
That's right.
Because if you succeeded something together, you know, your children say, wow, just think of what my parents did. You know, you're impacting, you know, when you think of eternity, you think of you're leaving an impact, whether it's on your children, whether it's on a community, a society, or a nation. You know, people look back and say, you know what, they did some things. They changed marriages. You look at their marriage, look how their marriage was. You know, when all is said and done. And you know what? We want to model our marriage after them because you're leaving that impact. When you think of, like Cynthia said, eternity, you know, people always look back. When you think of, say, Booker T. Washington or Grover Cleveland, whatever the case may be, you think of what they left.
That's right.
You know?
So we want to know, what is the legacy that you're leaving for your family? And it's not about money. What is the legacy? Type it in the notes, type it in the feed, type it in the chat. What are the legacy that you believe you are leaving for your family, or that you would like to leave for your family?
That was gonna say, or you would like to leave. What do you want to be known for? especially as a couple.
So,
is it your business? Is it your marriage?
Well, see, ours is kind of the same.
Exactly.
It is the success in our business and the success in our marriage. And our business is about marriage.
That's right.
So our legacy is leaving that people can and will have successful marriages. And we're leaving the legacy of the tools that we have created that they can use to have a successful, happy, and prosperous marriage.
When all is said and done, to say, you remember Marriage Built to Last left these tools for us to have a prosperous marriage?
Who was behind that?
Yeah.
Oh, that was that couple, James and
It could be 200 years from now.
Yeah.
Who knows?
You never know. You don't know what your legacy is going to be, but you can determine what your legacy will be.
You don't know the impact that you'll have or that you'll leave when all is said and done.
Oh my gosh, that is so good. So good. All right, you guys, remember to type in the chat, even if you're watching the replay, what is the legacy that your marriage, or you and your spouse, your mate together, your spouse together are leaving for the world or your family or your children to believe is your legacy that you're leaving behind? Like, what will they think about you? What will they say about you when you're gone? And especially in relation to your marriage or your life that you built together. What is your legacy? So type it in the chat. We're going to go back and read every note. And we want to know what you have to say. So we want you guys to make sure that you register for the Totally Confident Couple Virtual Summit. It is free until June 1st. Right. On June 1st, it will be $20. But guess what? You are going to be entered to win an all expenses paid free vacation in many locations here in the United States. And guess what? We have 5. Not 1, 2, 3, or 4. We have 5 free vacations that we are giving away. 5. So get registered. Hurry up, get registered, and we will enter your name into that contest.
And I like it because if you need help in different areas, if you need help in communication, you need help in blended families, you may need help in finances, whatever area you may need help in, we're going to have it. So I would encourage you to register as soon as possible, because trust me, it's going to fill up quickly.
Yes, just go to marriagebuilttolast.com/summit. You can just go to our website, marriagebuilttolast.com/summit. That's marriagebuilt2last.com/SUMMIT summit. Just go to our website and you can click on events. You can click on all kinds of things and it will take you still to the virtual summit. We want you to be there. We want you to be there. We want to help you. We are here to serve you and to give you what you need to have a great relationship.
It's knowledge. Knowledge is power.
This is for you. It's not for us. It's for you. Right. And it's a total collaboration with all of our speakers. So let us just tell you real quick some of the speakers that we have. Oh, gosh, you're going to have to help me on this, honey. We have Dwight and Deidre Russo of Together Marriages, right? I can't wait because they're going to do Husband Huddle and the Wife, Truly Wed Wives Circle.
We got the mechanics.
We have the McAllisters. They're going to talk about single parents, achievers, how to achieve a success in parenting. Not single parents. They're going to be talking about parenting. How to achieve success in parenting. We have
relationship mechanics.
We have the relationship mechanics. Fulton and Courtney Smith out of Atlanta. Dwight and Deidre are out of Tennessee. The McAllisters are here in Maryland. We have Dr. Tashika Greene, who's going to be talking to the Totally Confident Woman, y'all. She's talking to us ladies, right. Some women. She got some great things to help us to walk in all that we are called to be as women. We have the Highlights out of Florida. They're going to be talking about communications, all things communications. They're going to make it sexy. You know, it's going to be good.
Finance.
We have Michi Jeffries, who's going to be talking about finances. Like, she is the financial guru that's going to be giving you some tips on building wealth and how to achieve success in just your everyday finances. And we have Mr. Bowtie Feaster, who will be talking about overcoming your past. So, and we have some more speakers. Oh my gosh, I can't think of them right now.
And that's the thing, the key.
Cassandra Ferguson.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I can't think of her husband's first name. I'm so sorry, Cassandra. But we have the Fergusons out of Baltimore. that I can't remember their topic off the top of my head. I'm so sorry, you guys. I should have had these notes in front of me. But they're going to be coming before you also. So we are super excited about all that we have to offer you. Get registered at marriagebuilttolast.com/summit. We look forward. We're going to have some of our speakers on next Saturday. So be sure to come. Come to see the show next Saturday. We're going to have several of our speakers and maybe some of our vendors and sponsors.
Right.
That's the other thing. There's going to be a link on the registration page throughout the whole conference where you can shop with our vendors. We got some amazing vendors, you guys. You don't want to miss it. You can shop online. Y'all know y'all like to shop online. But
don't you have to leave the comfort of your own home.
You don't have to leave
like
the
with
conference.
COVID, you don't have to leave.
That's right. You don't have to leave the conference. You don't have to leave your house. You can shop online with the vendors. You're going to get free gifts from the speakers and the vendors. We're going to have giveaways and prizes. Don't miss this, you guys. We can't wait to see you on June 12th. Thank you so much for registering and being a part of all that Marriage Built to Last do. And remember,
if you build it, it's going to last.
God bless you guys. Happy Memorial Day, and thank you for your service to all the veterans.